Obviously, cloud has become very prominent lately, but that doesn't mean that on-premises customers are invisible. Someone sent me a message the other day saying, I don't like the fact that you're taking away on-premises features from the database and making them only available on cloud to force people to move. And I thought that's a bit strange. It's something I'd never heard of and certainly hadn't read. So I thought I'd do a bit of research myself, and here's my thoughts on that. Now, before I continue, I want to say I don't work for the licensing division inside Oracle. That's somewhat above my pay grade, and I obviously can't speak for them. So this is just my personal opinion as a database practitioner, in much the same way as I imagine customers would go hunting to find out information about features and availability of features inside the Oracle database. I don't see any proof of that. To clarify this, I think precision is really, really important. Because let's go back to 2010. Here's a blog post I found from Mark Fielding at Pythian. He's a long-time Oracle expert in the field. It was a blog post on one of Exadata's really cool little things called storage indexes. It's a technology that improves the performance of queries in certain circumstances that is only available on Exadata. Similarly, if you've ever done an execution plan on a full table scan in Exadata, you might see this keyword table access storage full, which you won't see on non-Exadata platforms. That also is a particular piece of the Exadata secret sauce that lets you apply some where clause predicates, not actually in the database tier like every other normal platform would do, but actually that predicate can be pushed down into the storage layer, and the storage has some smarts in there to actually return just matching blocks or matching rows back to the database server, dramatically improving the amount of I/O that's going back and forth between storage and database kernel. So since 2010, or since its inception, Exadata has always had hardware and software trickery, for lack of a better term, inside it to make it a superior platform over and above what you can get on Enterprise Edition and Standard Edition of the Oracle database. There's nothing new there, that's always been the case. With that in mind, I went to the current and latest version of the Oracle documentation set, that is 19C database, and grabbed the licensing guide and picked out a little bit of a subset. I've put them up on screen here, and we don't need to worry too much about the details. All I've done is highlight the Exadata column in yellow. Now, if I scroll through that list, is there a single entry there that says no? I can't see one. They all say that the particular feature is available on Exadata. That's not just Exadata Cloud, that's Exadata on-premises as well. So if people are telling me that, there are certain things that are only available on cloud, I dispute that, because the current licensing guide shows us that every single cloud feature is also available on Exadata on-premises. It might not be available on Enterprise Edition, but that's not new. That has always been the case. Since the inception of Exadata, there are certain things in Exadata that aren't available over and above the normal platforms. That's unchanged. The only caveat I could possibly think of here is our autonomous services. And I think they're a special case because the kind of things that will be cloud only, for lack of a better term, on autonomous, are a reflection of the fact that when a customer signs up to an autonomous database, they are proactively saying to Oracle, your job is to manage this as best as possible for my benefit, to proactively make changes to my system, for example, automatic indexes, to proactively patch it, to proactively take actions to improve my service. Oracle as an internal organization is going to make as many features to satisfy that need as possible. I think that's quite different to a customer having an on-premises database, Exadata or not, that actually wants to use particular features as they see fit, as opposed to having them foist upon them. I would argue that if we actually put features in that we use exclusively for our autonomous services onto your on-premises offerings, the first thing you'd probably be doing is complaining at us and asking us to turn them off, because they would be proactively managing your database, perhaps in a manner that doesn't suit your particular business requirements. But to come back to the first point, I don't think there is any such thing as us deliberately trying to hobble on-premises versions in order to make people move to cloud. I think that's absolute fiction that has just been rolled out by people who perhaps don't understand our strategy in terms of making all customers successful, whether they're cloud-based or on-premises based. hopefully we can all win with each version of the database that comes out with all its cool new features.